part of this 7th episode, we shall be looking at words number 66 to 70. And in number 66, we shall be considering words like quite/rather. We shall be discussing faith/faith. We shall be looking at faithful/faithful. And we shall be considering right/right. And then we shall be discussing things like being/being. Our next set of words include right/right. Now, students need to be very careful with these words because they are perfect homophones, alright? They perfectly sound alike. Although they are not spelled the same way and they do not mean the same thing, okay? They sound the same way, alright? So, students need to understand their meaning very clearly to be able to handle them cleverly, okay, in spoken English and in written form as well as under the examination condition. Now let's begin the analysis, okay, with the first word, right. R-I-G-H-T. Okay, this word means that which is normally correct, that which is just, and that which is honorable. Alright, something which is right, which is just, which is correct, which is honorable. That is what we mean by R-I-G-H-T. Alright, this word can be used as a noun and at the same time it can be used as an adjective. Okay, we shall see that under the usage of the word. Okay, the expressions illustrating the usage. Then the next word is rite, R-I-T-E, okay? This word means a traditional or a religious ceremony, okay? Just that, all right? It's as simple as that, a traditional or religious ceremony. And this word can only be used as a noun, all right? So now, let's go on with the usage, okay, in expressions. The first one says, she had every right to be angry. All right, every right. The use of right here is what? A noun. So if you have every, okay, modifying a word, then the word is automatically a noun. So every right. So this is the use of right as a noun in expressions. And the next expression says, I hope we're doing the right thing. I hope we're doing the right thing. Now, right is used in this expression as an adjective, as an attributive adjective, because it is standing before a noun to modify the noun. The right thing, that is, I hope we're doing a just thing, a normal thing, or an honorable thing. All right, so that's the use of right as an adjective in expressions. And then we'll go over to the second words, the sentences for that. The first one says, James wore black for the rite. If you understand rite as a ceremony, so you can simply refute rite and bring in ceremony here, and then you say, James wore black for the ceremony. Alright, whether it's a traditional ceremony or a religious ceremony, alright, it doesn't count. The fact is that rite means the same thing as ceremony. Alright, then the next one, and of course the last sentence under this illustration says, marriage is seen as a rite of passage, okay? Marriage is seen as a ceremony of passage. When we say rite of passage, it's a little bit figurative. It means all of the activity that takes place in a person's life, beginning from birth till what? Death. Every important celebration or ceremony that takes place with a person or in a person's life, okay, is referred to as a rite of passage. Birth is a rite of passage, marriage is a rite of passage, death itself is a rite of passage. Alright, so all of such activities are described as rites of passage. Good. So that's how to use these words and expressions. We shall now take a step further by looking at their appearance in past questions. JAMB 1986. He did not attend the final burial dash. A. Right. B. Right. C. Right. D. Right. Going by our explanation, we know it cannot be burial right because burial has to do with ceremonies, and this is not the word, okay, that can be used with ceremonies. Then we are now left with option A and C. Okay, this makes these questions to be very interesting. All right, the two options here. All right. Now I'm going to take the one with singular or the one with plural. The one with plural is the correct answer. The reason is because rights, okay, are usually many. In other words, the ceremonies that are carried out during a burial activity or burial process are usually many. So it has to be pluralized. That is why we're going to say that it is what? Burial rites. So that is that about item number 69 on our list. We now go over to the last item of this episode, which is item number 17, being/being. Our last set of words in this episode include being/being. Good. The first thing we must establish around these words is that they are the various forms of the verb be. Alright, so if be is present tense, then being is present continuous tense, while being is past participle, okay, and can be used as past perfect as the case may be, and depending on the anomalous auxiliary verb that is used with it. Right, now let's look at them critically. Being, B-E-E-N, alright, it is the past participle of the verb be, usually expressed as, okay, anomalous plus the verb itself being in its past participle. So you can have things like has plus being. Alright, so that is how to use being. Now, how do we use being in expression? That is the one with the continuous form. In other words, the gerund. It is present participle, okay? Or present continuous tense of the word or the version of the word. Okay? Now, this word is used in this order. Okay, you can use it with am/is plus was plus are plus where. Then anytime you have these words coming out and you want to express the verb to be, then you are going to take the continuous form of the verb being. Right, so that is how to use these words, okay, or rather that is what these words mean. Now let's go over a few sentences, okay, to illustrate how to use the words in expressions. The first one says, she has been faithful. She has been faithful, correct? So this is present perfect tense, okay? And because of the presence of what? Of anomalous auxiliary verb has here, the form of the verb that can be taken is what? Past participle. And the second one is just like the first, and it says, you have been discovered. You have been discovered. This is also present perfect tense, all right? Now, because it is used with what? Anomalous, then the form of this verb that can be taken is past participle. Then for the second word, we have, she is being beaten, all right? This is what? Present continuous tense, all right? This is a situation where someone is what? Being beaten, okay, and the process is still going on. So when you have is here, or because of the subject of the sentence, which is, then the verb that can what? Collocate is the singular primary auxiliary verb. So she is being beaten. And because this word is present, then we say it's present continuous. And then when you have something like I am being hated, so it's just like the first. Because of this nominative I, then you are going to consider am. So this is the only primary auxiliary verb that collocates with are. Then you now have I am being beaten. Am is present, am being is present continuous. Alright? Then the next one is they were being helpful. They were being helpful. This is a situation, okay, where the anomalous auxiliary verb we are employing must agree with the nominative, and they can agree with are in the present or were in the past. With this operation, now this is past continuous tense, all right? Past continuous, that is describing an event that took place in the past and continued for a period. So this is how to use these words in expressions. Now, let's consider their appearance in past questions. WAEC 1990. We arrived when the hall dash arranged, so we stood outside. A has been, B is being, C was being, D had been. Right. Now, if you look at this question very carefully, you will discover that it is a test of tenses, okay? Present tense, past tense, and the rest of that. When you look at the structure, the context of the question very closely, you will discover that it is in the past. We arrived when the hall, okay, that's arranged. We arrived. So now go through the option. Has been is present, okay? Then is being is also what? Present. What about this like was being? This one is past. Had been is also what? Past. Good. So those ones that are present have to go because the expression is in the past. Then we arrived. Good. Now I want to consider was being arranged or had been arranged. This expression is not a perfect tense, okay? In other words, it is not a past perfect tense, but it is simple past tense. That the event took place in the past and ended successfully in the past. Not that the event took place in the past and continued for a moment. So now looking at option C and D, you now ask yourself, we arrived when the hall was being arranged. Is it was being arranged or had been arranged? Remember, when these people arrived, the hall was not ready, so it cannot be had been arranged. Therefore, it's going to be it was being arranged because it is not a perfect expression. If you use had been arranged, it's going to be a perfect past or past perfect. But this is not a past perfect expression because when they arrived, the all had not been arranged. In other words, it was being arranged. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. So that is that about the 7th episode of our video series, okay, that took us through words number 61 to number 70. Please kindly join me in my next video where I shall be discussing the 8th episode of this video series.